So one of the biggest problem areas I see when it comes to Etsy sellers is them neglecting their shop and the sections and everything that goes into it. They put a lot of emphasis into your listings, and rightfully so. You should put a lot of time and emphasis on your listings, but you forget that your shop and your shop sections also help optimize how much traffic and your success. So today I want to go through and give you an Etsy shop checklist so you can go through, make those changes, and get the most bang for your buck. And if you guys don't know who I am, LL, I help Etsy sellers start, build, and grow their businesses so they can be frustrated less and get closer to their goals. All right, so let's dive in. I have a sample shop here. We're gonna dive in and go through it section by section. I'm gonna give you pro tips on each section on what to do so that you guys can implement this stuff right away. And if you want an actual PDF download checklist to go along with this video, which would be pretty good, I encourage you to do that. Write checklist in the comments of this video if you're on YouTube, or visit the show notes if you're watching the podcast, and I will send that over to you. All right, so this is one of the best performing shops on Etsy. They're $1 million sellers. So I'm gonna use this as an example. There's lots of really good sellers out there, but they do a pretty good job. So let's go through this and first dive into the banner image inside this shop. So your banner image is important because it's a great way to showcase your products. And a lot of people miss this. They use it as a way to showcase their brand, like their color scheme or their brand logo. And I hate to be blunt about this, but no one cares about your brand. Most of you are very, very small sellers. You're not going to be brand recognized. At some point, maybe you will be, but most people are not. So the thing that really sets you apart is your products and the product offerings and how you're promoting them, how you're displaying them. So this is valuable real estate. So take the time to display your products in here. Some good lifestyle shots are good. Your products in use are really good ideas. So they do a good job of displaying their products here. I mean, they have this put in a carousel. So they have multiple images here, which you can scroll through and kind of see the different images that they have displayed here. So you don't have this unless you do Etsy Plus. They have the ability to do a carousel image. Do you need it? No, but you could upgrade to get that functionality if you want it. If you want, you can even smash your rings into an ice cream cone like they did here. I don't know if that's necessary, but I guess that's a brand thing that you want to showcase your jewelry inside of an ice cream cone. But you guys get the point. Showcase new products, best-selling products, or seasonal products in your banner image. You can throw your logo in here, but that is not the most important. The most important thing is showcasing your products. Moving downward, you will see there is a section for a logo. They did not use a logo here. I would recommend using a logo, something simple, something clean on a white background. You know, think of the most recognizable logos out there: Apple, Target, Walmart. Very clean on a white background, recognizable, easy to see. So put that in there. Make sure you have a logo, and this should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it. Make sure all these sections are filled out. This is the other thing that people miss. I'm going to talk about all the sections, but make sure you're taking the time to do them. You can always make them better. Fix stuff later on. It's not going to be perfect, but right out of the gate, you need to make sure you have sections. Besides the logo, you can have a tagline here. Right here, they have dainty personalized jewelry crafted with love. It's not about getting clever here. It's not about trying to come up with the best, most witty tagline. This is purely for SEO. So think of what you represent and the most highly searched keywords and try to put those in as your tagline. So personalized jewelry, huge search term. Dainty jewelry, huge search term. Crafted with love, not so much, but the first bit of that is very, very highly searched keywords. So any bit of information is important to SEO. So all this is data points that you're gonna pump into your shop to help the algorithm see who you're trying to target and ultimately send you more traffic. So that's how you have to think about this. The next part of this is your announcement section. So make sure you have an announcement section. This is always a good place to put the most important information, such as shipping deadlines or promotional code, sales, something like that. But you can also interject some SEO-friendly terms. Again, another place to put keywords in your shop where it makes sense. So take the time to do that. Now keep in mind, a lot of people don't hit the read more button. So the most important stuff, you want to make sure that it's above the fold, above the read more button. And then the not as important information, maybe the SEO stuff, you can put the read, under the read more. So here they actually have the subscribe button very at the bottom here. I would put that at the top. Most people won't subscribe unless you give them an incentive, like, hey, get 10, 15, 20% off your first order. If you have a mailing list, that's a good place to put that above the fold. But other than that, you can put a welcome message that naturally interjects some of your most highly searched terms from an SEO standpoint. So make sure you have an announcement section. So that's kind of the basic setup there to get you started on putting something in there. Featured items section is down here. You can feature, now they have Etsy Plus, so they can feature 5 items or a section in here. If you just have the regular Etsy, you can do 4, which is fine. So again, use this stuff to feature your best sellers, new stuff, or seasonal stuff, and you should change this stuff out. Your shop shouldn't be stagnant, and that goes for all of this stuff. You should refresh this every couple of months. Now on the left hand side, you'll see the shop sections. So this is a great way to not only curate your stuff, especially once you start growing your listings and have a number of listings in your shop, curate it for people coming there so they can organize it and not have to sift through it. You want to make sure that they have a good buying experience, and curating it for them is the best way to do that. But the other thing that this represents is extra SEO, extra keywords. So that's another great way. These shop sections work as mini landing pages, so you should use good keywords here to organize your stuff, keywords that people are searching for, and you can copy these entire sections for social media or blog posts or something like that, but it also curates it for people searching. But it allows you to put extra data into your shop, keywords, to help the algorithm send you more traffic and figure out who you're trying to target. So they probably have, I think there's a limit of 22 sections, and they probably have close to, if not all of those filled up. So you may have to get a little creative if you have a lot of stuff and you have a lot of different ways that you want to organize it. But just think about it from a keyword perspective, how you can best do that and best represent that there. Other than that, you have your listings here. Now you can organize, if you can sort this, customers can sort this if they want, but you can move this stuff around inside your shop if you want to organize this. But again, if you're curating the shop sections, it really doesn't make sense to move it around. A lot of times your best selling stuff will show, or your most recent listings will show here if they don't have a shop section pulled up. But I wouldn't necessarily worry about moving this stuff around and organizing it, because most people are going to filter it out or sort through the shop sections. But the other stuff, so as you get through and you scroll down to your reviews, this is important. And you may be thinking, well, how? I can't control reviews. Well, there's ways that you can control trying to get reviews by doing customer follow-ups and reach out to try and get reviews. I'm not going to go into all that here. I've definitely talked about that on prior episodes, so make sure you go back and listen to those. But as far as your reviews, what you can control after they leave it, if it's a bad review, you got to reach out and see if you can get them to fix it. Fix the problem, then ask them to update the review. That's really, really important. Now, if it's a good review, you can reply to these reviews. And this allows you to not only show that you're very engaged in your shop and you have amazing customer service, but again, this is a way to add extra keywords in your shop, in your as data points that the algorithm's going to pick up. So when you reply to someone thanking them, don't just say, "Hey, thanks for the great review." Say, "Hey, thanks for buying. Thanks for buying the dangly hoop earrings that were custom designed just for you," or something like that. Interject those keywords back inside that review. It'll help optimize your shop even further to get even more traffic. So think about how you can do that. Reviews are important, but you can get even more bang for your buck. That's the term of the week. I'm saying that no matter what. I keep saying that. I'm like, where did I've said that before, but for some reason it's like on the top of my mind. I want to say everything, get more bang for your buck with everything that we're talking about. Anyways, so that's what you do with reviews. Your about section is important. It's a good way to showcase your shop. You can add one video and I think 4 or 5 pictures with a description, again, from an SEO standpoint. add a description, add those keywords where it makes sense from someone reading it, but interject those keywords. From a customer standpoint, put those pictures in there showcasing that you're a real person, showcasing behind the scenes. A lot of people just throw listing photos in here. People don't want to see that. They can see that on the listings. Show that you're a real person making the stuff. Show the stuff in progress. For the video, you can showcase you making something. You can shoot a time-lapse video. So get creative with it. It should represent your brand and your style. But again, it's a great way to show that you're a real person. This stuff is not mass-produced. Hopefully that's the case for you. If you're mass producing your stuff, then I don't know how you're going to show that. But anyways, for the handmade people, vintage stuff, you can find ways to showcase that. Your story, again, write a couple of paragraphs about yourself, why you started, but you're naturally incorporating the main keywords for your shop. Again, all of this has one common theme. How much great data can you get in your shop to help showcase your target market, your target customers, to show the algorithm like, hey algorithm, hey Mr. Robot Man, this is the people that I want to come to my shop, and I want you to send as many people as possible to my shop. Well, how do you do that? You have as many high quality relevant keywords in your shop. So focus, do that in your about section. The next is your links. This just helps add legitimacy. If you have Facebook, if you have Instagram, Pinterest, if you have your own website, put them in here. The goal is to keep people inside your shop. You don't want to send them, I see people make this mistake like, hey, go to my Instagram, like my page or something like that. It's like people go to Instagram or you go to TikTok, what happens? You don't come back. You're just sucked in there. You're sucked in the valley of TikTok and Reels. So don't find ways to send people elsewhere. You want to try to keep them in your shop. This is purely from an SEO and from a legitimacy standpoint to add those links in here. The majority of people aren't going to bounce over there unless they want to go over to like Facebook and see like, okay, are they active on Facebook? Are they posting stuff on there? Okay, it seems pretty legitimate. You know what I mean? If they go to your Facebook page and it's not set up and the link goes nowhere, that looks really, really sketchy. So that's why people would check those links out. Now, shop members section, this is the next area that you want to focus on. Again, if it's just you, that's fine, but think of ways that you can showcase that you're a real person and put in additional keywords in your description, right? So you can get creative with this. You can put your dogs in here. You can get cute, think outside the box. This shop has a ton of people because they're huge. Maybe it's just you, maybe it's husband and wife, maybe it's just you and your dogs, that's fine. Figure out how you can put your name in here, a real picture, and then you can do a little blurb, a little description with some extra keywords in there. The other thing, shop policies. You want to make sure you have policies. Etsy's made it really, really easy to do shop policies now with a couple of clicks. Got to make sure you have policies because it looks really sketchy if you don't, right? Everyone wants to know that they can have returns, or there's a return policy, cancellation policy, all that stuff. So pretty straightforward there. Etsy's made that pretty easy. The last thing that I'm going to talk about here is the FAQ section. So especially if you're selling a lot of the same stuff, people are going to have a lot of the same questions. So you want to make sure to answer those questions in your FAQ section and put SEO in here, right? Put the keywords in here where it applies, right? You're going to naturally incorporate bits of SEO, bits of keywords about your stuff. If you sell jewelry, it's like, hey, if you want to return your dainty jewelry rings, here's how you do it. You're interjecting those keywords in your FAQ section, again, to add more relevancy, to get more information, more bits of information for the algorithm. But this also benefits customers. That's why you're writing it for the customer. It's just the SEO is naturally occurring in here. So they're going to read this, and if they have questions about returns or custom stuff or whatever, common questions should go here. The main goal of an FAQ section, and you should also put this information in your listings too, the main goal is to answer questions before a customer has to reach out. Because if you don't answer their question, they're going to move on to a shop that does answer their question. Most people aren't going to reach out. Most people aren't going to take the time. So if they can't find the answer, it's not obvious, it's not stated, they're not going to take the time to reach out, because most people just assume the shop's going to take a while to get back to them. And most people want to buy right away. They don't want to take their time. They see something they like, they want to buy it, or it's a gift. So they're going to bounce to the other shop that answers their questions. So that's where your FAQ section comes into play and is really important. But outside of that, those are the main sections and the main chunks and the main bits that you want to make sure that you're focusing on, so you can cram as much high quality stuff in there, showcase that you're a real person. Also a great way to showcase SEO, so you can get more traffic at the end of the day. Again, if you want the guide to go along with this, type checklist inside the notes or inside the messages, whatever the heck it's called, or it's going to be in the show notes. If you want to check out another great video to help you with your Etsy business, it's going to show up on the left or the right here if you're watching on YouTube. Outside of that, I'll talk to you guys later. Have an amazing rest of your day.